Hello, first grade. This is your math for Monday, December 7, 2020. These are the supplies you're going to need for today's lesson. You'll need lesson 4.5, a pencil, your dry erase marker, and a whiteboard. Pause the video now and get all your supplies together. Press play when you're ready to begin. All right, we should be ready to begin. Let's move our paper off to the side today. Our pencil, and let's get our whiteboards ready with our dry erase marker. Today's lesson is breaking apart to subtract. So we will be breaking apart our 10 frames to subtract. To get us ready for that skill, let's practice some of our subtraction sentences that have 10 for a difference. Let's begin with 13 minus blank equals 10. Copy that subtraction sentence onto your whiteboard and think, how can I get from 13 down to 10? Yes, I hopped 3 times down my number line. 13 minus 3 equals 10. Good job. Let's try another one. 14 minus blank equals 10. 14 minus, you're right, 4. Copy that subtraction sentence. Let's move on. Let's try the number 16 minus blank equals 10. How do I get from 16 down to 10? I subtract. If you said 6, you're right. Do you notice a pattern? The digit that is in the ones place, when subtracted, gets me down to 10, doesn't it? Let's move on to our last subtraction sentence. 18 minus blank equals 10. Copy this subtraction sentence. What number goes on the blank line? Did you say 8? You're right. I looked at that ones place again. When I subtract 8 from 18, my difference is 10. Make sure you have all those written down. Good. Let's practice reading them together. 13 minus 3 equals 10. 14 minus 4 equals 10. 16 minus 6 equals 10. 18 minus 8 equals 10. Good job. All right, let's take a moment and erase that. Good job. And let's move on. Let's practice now writing our numbers by 2s. Are you ready? Let's go to 30. Say it with me as we write. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Notice I have nice big spaces between my numbers so that I can tell them apart. Be sure you have spaces between your numbers also. Let's keep going. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What comes next? 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Are you noticing some patterns on your board if you wrote them like me? Yes. You can go right down the column by tens. 2, 12, 22. Count with me. 4, 14, 24. 6, 16, 26. 8, 18, 28. 10, 20, 30. Notice how we counted by tens in each column. Isn't math fun? I love to see the patterns that form with numbers. Let's go ahead and erase that. All right, let's get your math lesson here in front of us now that we've warmed up with our numbers. Let's write our name at the top. The date is December. That means 12 because December is the 12th month of the year. -7, it's the 7th day. And 20, it is 2020. The month, the day, and the year. All right, friends, let's read our lesson together. Please read with me. Break apart to subtract. Essential question. How do you break apart a number to subtract? Remember, just like in addition, it's always helpful to think of our numbers in terms of groups of 10 when we're adding or subtracting. Use counters to solve each problem. Draw to show your work. This is why we see 10 frames in a lot of our subtraction strategies. Whenever we can break apart or make a 10, it helps us subtract and add, doesn't it? No wonder we've seen a lot of these 10 frames in kindergarten and in first grade. It gets us ready for this subtraction today. Please listen to my story for the blue box. Tom had 14 pennies. He gave 4 pennies to his sister. How many pennies does Tom have now? Well, let's first start out by making 14 pennies. That is a 10 and a 4. Here we go. There's my 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The second part of my story says he gave 4 pennies to his sister. So we will circle the 4 and cross them out. How many pennies does he have now? You're right. If you said 10 pennies, you're correct. Please mark your papers like mine. All right, let's move on to the purple box. Then Tom gave 2 pennies to his brother. How many pennies does Tom have now? Well, let's carry on. How many did he have at the beginning of the story? He had 14 minus 4 gives him 10. Let's carry that 10 down here. And then the second part of the story says he gave 2 pennies to his brother. So let's continue to cross off those 2. How many pennies does Tom have now? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pennies. So how many pennies did Tom give away in all? He gave away 4 at the beginning and 2 at the end. How many did he give away altogether? Yes, if you said he gave away 6 pennies altogether, you are right. Good job, first grade. Let's move on. Let's turn to page 170. Say it with me. 170. Let's look at model and draw today. Read it with me, please. Think about 10 to find 13 minus 4. Place 13 counters in 2 10 frames. How many do you subtract to get to 10? So if I have 13 here, how many do I have to subtract to get to my 10? I have to subtract these 3, don't I? But it wasn't just minus 3, it was minus 4. So in my second step, it says, then subtract 1 more, like they did. So essentially, you're doing 13 minus 3, which was in step 1, minus another 1 to make that the 4. Remember, 3 and then minus 1 more is 4. So now we've subtracted as many as we're supposed to. And it would look like this. 13 minus 3 was my step 1. Minus 1 more is step 2. What is 13 minus 3? We know it's 10. And don't forget to carry that one down. Minus that 1 more. What's 10 minus 1? 9. So 13 minus 4 equals 9. Be sure that you've traced your model and draw box and filled in the correct numbers. All right, let's share and show. Share and show. Read it with me. Subtract. Number 1. What is 15 minus 7? Well, here I have 10 and 5, so there's my 15. Now I have to subtract how many in step 1? I have to get down to that 10 frame. So let's take away the 5 here. But 5, 6, 7. There we go. Now I've done 15 minus 7. So my first step was 10 minus what? I'm sorry, 15 minus what? 15 minus 5. So let's write that. 15 minus 5. And then in step 2, how many did I subtract? 2 more. There's my 7 I was supposed to subtract. Remember the minus 7? So let's continue on. What is 15 minus 5? Should be 10 every time there. Yep. Don't forget to carry this one down. Minus the 2. What is 10 minus 2? If you said 8, you're correct. So 15 minus 7 equals 8. Be sure that you write down all of those numbers. All right, let's move on to on your own. Subtract. Number 2. What is 14 minus 6? I have 14 here. 10 and 4 equals 14. Let's subtract this 4 to get down to my 10. So that's 14 minus 4. 14 minus 4. But I'm not done because it wasn't just minus 4, it was minus 6. So we have to keep subtracting. So 4 minus 4 minus 5 minus 6 all together. So over here, how many did I have to minus in step 2? I had to minus 2. Good. What is 14 minus 4? Well, we like that. Nice and easy peasy. It's just 10. Let's carry this 2 down. What is 10 minus 2? It's 8. Good job, first grade. So 14 minus 6 equals 8. Let's move on. Number 3, read it with me, please. What is 16 minus 7? Here I have 16. I have to take away this entire box down to my 10. That was 5 and 6. So 16 minus 6. Let's write that here. That's in step 1. But I'm not done because it wasn't minus 6, it was minus 7. So minus 6 minus 7. There we go. And let's write that over here in step 2. What is 16 minus 6? I love this one. It's just 10 every time, isn't it? And then don't forget to bring this 1 down. What is 10 minus 1? 9. So 16 minus 7, we have to write that in now. So 16 minus 7 equals what? 9. Good. Let's flip it like a pancake. To problem solving. This is a hot problem. We're going to skip it today. If you would like to do it as an extra challenge, you can do it at home with Mom and Dad. Let's move on to test prep. Which way shows how to make a 10 to solve 15 minus 6? Well, let's go ahead and do it over here in this special space. First, we have 15 minus 5 minus 1 more. So which answer models what we had to write? 15 minus 5 minus 1 more for minus 6. Is there an answer, boys and girls, that shows 15 minus 5 minus 1? Oh, there it is. 15 minus 5 minus 1. Good job. Don't forget to do your practice book. We did the lesson together. Now I would like you to go to your practice book, Practice 4.5, and do that on your own today. Have a great day, first grade. We'll see you next time.